Alright, welcome back. This wasn't the intent of the beginning of the video, but I figured I'd show some of the hijinks. For Christmas, I bought my daughters these crazy, I'm going to call them dart guns because they're not Nerf branded. It was just something I thought was a cute little thing for them, and they ended up being some insanely potent competitors in the Nerf world for Nerf guns. And my little 8-year-old is obsessed with these things, and I constantly mess around with them and they piss me off. I grab it out of the little holster upstairs and end up shooting at them. And it usually pisses her off, and then she sneaks off, and I end up getting shot in the face. So I made sure that everybody in the house has a set of these. Today, my wife and I got new Nerf guns. I forgot the brand that I got her, but it's a competitor to Nerf. I saw this one. Big shout to my friend Connor. He had the Hammer Strike, the Zombie Edition thing, and I remember shooting that at his house, at his college graduation, and how much fun it was, how accurate and how kick-ass it was. So I picked up this one, and the version, it's like Action Force, I think my wife's and the kids are, and they are not a joke. They are barely a toy. I am bruised. I got bruises on my face, the back of my neck from being shot, because my little kid is proficient, and then when they tag up with my wife, I got cornered in the kitchen. That was it. But as an obsessed OCD pain in the ass, I have already ordered some mods and already have picked out a couple more. I ordered the upgraded spring, and I got a green glow-in-the-dark, turning this into a 7-shot instead of 5, which is kick-ass. So that should be cool. I got to figure out some kind of sight. This works, but I want something a little cooler. But yeah, and this thing's neat because it's one-handed, where they're girls and my wife, you got to rack it and then fire it, where this one you pull the hammer back, shoot, pull the hammer back, shoot. So I'm going to modify the hammer just a little bit to smooth out this edge so your hand wraps around it a little more, make it a little bit easier, but it works. And depending on the dart, it is pretty potent also. But whatever those Action Force ones that my daughter and wife have, they hurt. They are potent, and I would say they're probably a little bit stronger than this one. So hopefully the upgraded spring will help, and then I'm going to grip tape wrap this thing to make it a little bit better. But I know there's some more kit parts. If anybody's into Nerf, I know it's kind of a niche thing, even though there's a lot of people out there. I don't know how many people FPV-wise would be into that, but if you have any recommended parts, there's a 3D printed barrel part that I want to get, so I might talk to my homie, see if he can print that out for me instead of paying like an arm and a leg for what I saw online. Anyway, not the point of the video. Today, up and away, FPV, Corey and F and Chet and I said myself probably twice, we went out flying today. It was our first official NE FPV gathering of 2022. I'm sorry, I'm just picking up and moving stuff around. And we flew quite a bit. We went to a familiar spot. I did 2 quick live videos, just thought it was easier. And if you've watched them, the quality for whatever reason sucked ass, because I think the service there sucks shit. So I apologize for that. It was a lot of fun, and I did it because I thought it'd be quicker and easier than just trying to upload the video, which probably backfired because the quality sucked. A couple people popped in, but you got the idea. But I brought a couple different quads. I brought Mr. Cinematic. I brought Two-Face, which is right there. I can go over there. Brought Two-Face, my Beta 95, which got a couple packs in it. Mr. C is over there. I'm sorry, Sinister. I rock Sinister, the Sin 8, a couple packs. I didn't fly this guy out in the woods because we ran out of time, and I ended up flying in the yard when the wind picked up. And these props, the Gemfan, I think they're the Hulkies. They suck. You bump a branch and they explode. So I just did a quick pack to burn in the yard, and that's what I got. But that's not. I didn't get any footage of that. That was just fun. But again, back to where the fun of the video is. Oh, sorry. Usually, I shouldn't say that. I always go through prep and get everything set, make sure everything's working in order, bind the quad, initialize the quad, plug it in, turn the remote on, make sure everything's good to go before I take off, pack it in the bag. And I did that. But I skipped one special step and it would have probably, it didn't save me any time, but I missed out on a killer flight. I still flew, but I didn't get HD, and I'm going to post it as a sort of cinematic raw FPV feed. And that may not come across to the community as well as other flights, but it was fun. Took a lot of chances. Obviously, it's not HD footage, but it was kick-ass. So long story short, I have Mr. C, Mr. Cinematic, set up to be kind of interchangeable, where I have a universal style GoPro mount. I can put a GoPro on it. I can put the SMO, which is basically a naked GoPro with beta slash Insta's version, or I can put the Insta 2, which is not in my sights right now. It's still stuffed in my bag. And I have this wired up so I can power this or just the GoPro, like I said. I did not test that. Not that I would ever think there'd be a problem, but maybe when I soldered it, I had to be. It was a shitty solder. It happens. So I had just taken it apart about a half hour ago, slightly before my daughter came home and shot the shit out of my face with Nerf guns. Took the top off and just quickly realized that the ground wire head came loose. That would have, oh man, the spot I flew from, the chances I took, it would have been epic. It hopefully will translate through to the footage, through the raw. I don't think that you get the same impact because it's not HD. It's just the way the mind works and whatnot. But so my encouragement would be, the PSA for this would be, before you go out and fly, just kind of check everything. Like I said, 99% of the time, everything is checked. Everything. You power on the GoPro, you power on the Insta, you just make sure every quad starts up and just pop tests, just to make sure there are no surprises, broken prop, whatever. Hey, look, it's Doom. And I did that. I even swapped this and put it on, but I didn't power it on. And that would have saved me from losing some sick footage. I've got 3 or 4, a total of 4, sorry, fresh flights that I'm going to get to and try to edit to try to stay as current with my videos. I still have 6, 7, or 8 from late fall / midsummer. Like I said, I was good about saving footage to keep footage through this time of year, where usually it's cold. And now that we had one day, which I think was record breaking, I think we hit over 60 here in Connecticut. So I got good 3 or 4 packs, and from different locations. So I think even if I back-to-backed them, you guys would still enjoy them, because they're in different spots all over the place. And if you didn't know the area, then you wouldn't even know that that was the same kind of complex that we were flying in. This was Corey's first time. If you didn't watch the lives, and I kind of don't want to recommend it because of the video quality, but if you want to bear through the hijinks and the shitty quality, watch the lives. But Corey, Up and Away FPV, that was his first time taking out the Cyn 8 and the Tiny Whoop. The Tiny Whoop I help him build, and getting out in the woods, which is the essence of New England FPV. I would say getting through the foliage and the crazy gaps in the trees and all that shit, but it was literally just scraggle today. And he, right off the rip, if you saw it in the live, he took off from the 70, 80 foot kind of spot we were at this abandoned dam section, and just went with it. And he took some chances, and so did F and Chet. And I can't wait to see, and I'm sure he'll comment on this video. F and Chet got caught up in the scraggle, got out of it, punched it, went into the scraggle, and literally spent, I would say, a solid minute bouncing from tree to tree to tree, which we were laughing hysterically after the fact. His face would have been priceless if I was recording it live. And he got out of it unscathed and did not come crashing to the ground, didn't end up in the water. So kudos to him. He stayed calm in the heat of the moment and got out of it, and I commend him for it. And the Cyn 8 is fine because it's a fucking epic quad, and it can take the abuse, and it's such an underrated underdog for such an inexpensive quad. But anyway, again, just PSA. I'd show you the rest of the room, but my fucking desk is a mess. This is just one side. That's what happens when you come home. I won't even show you the other side. It's insane. But kind of the first time taking out the new goggles on an adventure, and versus my other goggles, I literally took it out of the bag, the bag that it's in, out of the backpack, and powered up and was ready to go. This one, I can't do that because I'm running different antennas, and where the antennas are and the SD card that sticks out the side would get broken off in the process. So I have a little box, which is right here, just in a little tiny box, and I put the parts for that in there next to it, in with the controller. So it takes an extra minute or so. So setup was unique today because we stopped at a couple spots within this area. So every time we stopped, we had to take all the gear out versus flying at one spot where it wouldn't be a problem because your goggles come out, you get them set up, and boom, you're done. You fly a bunch of packs. Where we were moving and hiking all over the place today, and it was a little pain in the ass. But the ease of use, the quality of the goggles, the video feed that I had, the distance that I was able to go, I'm okay with that. It was worth the pain in the assness. I'm finally at a point where video feed, like I said with this guy, and Mr. C, that's not a problem. Nice iFlight antenna, which a couple people have asked about and are picking up. This was the first time in quite a while I was able to send this guy out without any issues. And all those issues stemmed back to just shitty antenna. It just got broken. You know, when you keep taking chances and you shoot tiny gaps, you want your antenna up in the air, obviously, because this gives you the best reception versus being tucked down, but it tends to get slapped. So I kind of keep it at a decent level with the camera. So if it ain't hitting the camera, it ain't hitting here. And I was quite pleased. This isn't tuned as smooth and slow as the Sin 8 because I do both. I do a decent freestyle with this and much more aggressive 4S flight versus the 3S Sin 8, where it's just slow, smooth, cholesterol-y butter. You can basically do that with this with a lot more pep. It's ready to go. So I made sure I brought the best of both worlds and had some fun. And I took some crazy chances, and the guys that were with me today will back up. There's a semi-frozen, I wouldn't call it a pond because I think moving water was coming in and out of it, if you want to be technical. And I saw it from quite a ways away because we were looking at all the beaver damage. The beavers have been chewing up this area. And we saw this half-frozen pond. And in the center of it was a kind of winding, moving current. And it just looked beautiful to me, caught my attention. I said, fuck it, I'm going to go do it. And we walked over to that area, and I flew out over the ice, and I'm flying over the ice and the scraggle, and I'm looking at the reflection of the water on this, and it's like a sheet of glass. Even in the FPV feed, I could see how smooth and crystal clear all the trees in the reflection in the sky. So I was following along the open water for quite a ways. As I'm talking to the guys I'm doing, going, I'm an idiot, this is stupid. Recovery would have sucked ass, and there is no place I won't go to go get my quad. And I would have sure as hell got my balls wet and jumped in that icy cold, semi-frozen water to go get it. No questions asked. And if it fell farther ways out, I would have had to gotten wet for quite some time to get to it. And God, if it was deep on that end, because I didn't know how deep it was, I'd be going fully submerged. Full tilt, full NEFPV stupidity. But you got to trust your equipment. And I flew that once or twice, give or take, before that flight. So I knew that it was locked in, good to go. Video was phenomenal. So I took that crazy chance. And I apologize for all the bad language. Just excited. That's how I express myself. Hence, explicit FPV. So yeah, Two-Face got its workout today. Mr. C I brought, and I actually opted out for the GoPro. I literally had plugged in the GoPro over there and was going to charge it. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll get an extra minute or so if I go lighter. And it's 4K, 60 frames. Stabilizations, ballpark. They're very similar. Just a different color profile in the the log profile. In the fact that there was still a decent breeze that was coming up here and there, this fought it considerably better than anything else. My last flight with the Sin 8 that I did, there was this downed tree. The tree had to be 150 years old, and somehow there was a truck bed from the 80s underneath it. Figure that shit out. I don't know, but there were some crazy gaps in it, and I shot those crazy gaps. Corey was too. And the Sin 8 was just getting pushed around fighting that today for some reason. But I was able to maneuver, and I got the shots that I wanted to get. That guy would have been a little bit better, kind of less of a big piece of mass getting blown around because of its profile. But if there is any question of wind, I find that the old school full size seem to handle it a little bit better. I have debated seeing if I can get a different print or talk to somebody about printing. I call it a half shell instead of a full duck, just a duck where the prop is, and then leaving it open for air to travel through to help cool the motors, cool everything, and kind of take out some of that brick in the air kind of situation. But it's working, and I kind of don't want to F with it, but I kind of do because I don't like, I can't stop messing with everything. But that was our day. I am going to get up early tomorrow. My day's kind of changed. Tomorrow's Super Bowl. I was supposed to get up. I was going to start editing and just get my jam done, and then hang out and chill with some people, some coworkers, and have some fun. But now I have to go to the supermarket because we didn't go today because late day flying. And then I have to get to the range, and I have to do some duties at the range. I am helping initiate a bunch of new members into the club, so I have to work with them, and then get back to the house in time to enjoy some pre-gaming for the Super Bowl and all that. So I got a busy day, and hopefully I'll be able to get some editing in. No plans as of now for the week. Not that I'm important, but you know what I mean. Just kind of bullshitting. But no plans for the week, so maybe I'll be able to get some editing in if I can't squeeze it in tomorrow before the game. So that's all. So stay tuned. Appreciate. F and Chet will have some videos up and away. FPV will have some videos up. I wouldn't be surprised if he's got one up by the end of the night, knowing him. And I hope you guys check him out if you haven't already subscribed to him. So yeah, I got a lot of cleaning to do. I got a lot of video transferring to do, and I'm exhausted. I don't even know what time it is. Hold on. What time is it? It is 9 o'clock. So on that note, peace out. Any questions, you know the jam. Hit me up, and we're here to help. And I'll get into talking about it more and leaving it in the description. But New England FPV. We are a group, an entity out as a community, as a family. We get together for people in our own groups, and any EFPV, obviously, like I've been talking about, is expanding all over the country and creating little networks all over the place. So hopefully there will be a New England FPV group in your area if you're new to flying, and you'll be able to get together with people and fly and help you get into this hobby if you're new to it, or help you solve problems if you've been in it in a while, or whatever. So we're trying to better and help the community. So if you see this and you're new to it and you're looking for people to fly with, hit me up. Tell me what your area you live in. See if there's somebody out there. And if not, maybe you'd be the one to help open something up in that area. So I'm going to do a video later on down the road and talk about everybody that's involved with that, and shout them because they've been a great help and they're a great family, and then go from there. So try not to overload. I hit the 20-minute mark almost. I'm at 18:30. So I apologize for rambling. Peace out.